about Julian Alvarez's goal yesterday being an amazing goal.
That was lucky. That was a lucky goal.
He's lucky and it bounced
Wait,
off him.
which one are you talking about? The Messi one or
I
the?
don't know that, or the ball deflected like 3 defenders.
The first one where he just ran through. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, that was lucky.
Mm.
Should have got defended like 3 times, but
Should
didn't.
have cleared the danger.
I still think the Richarlison one was the best one.
I think so too.
I think people just forget about it because
I
it was
mean,
so
it just
long
felt
ago.
like it started the World Cup.
Yeah.
It set the tone really well, which was great at the same time. You're looking at it and you're just kind of there like, this is Richarlison, who plays for Spurs. He doesn't really get a kick.
That has 0 goals.
Just, 0 goals, not really.
0 goals, barely any playing time.
Wind up merchant for Tottenham as well. And then what does he do? He scores
Oh, God.
amazing goal.
Wind up merchant. Feel like put in it.
So for me, my favourite goal, the one that I probably got really gassed about the most, was that second Saudi Arabia goal against Argentina.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh, I was
Banger.
like, I didn't know he had it in his locker because I didn't even know the player. So I was like, oh my god, this is insane. This is unreal.
I don't know what happened to Saudi Arabia, to be honest, after that game though.
I think they were just happy with the Rolls Royces. If you were given a free Rolls Royce,
I probably didn't even get the Rolls Royce.
did they not even get it?
It was just like a rumor. It was fake.
Oh, it was a rumor. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
rumor
think
should have
they're
came
just
out
really
after
happy
the group
with it.
stage.
Yeah.
They've done their country proud, to be fair. They beat Argentina. If Argentina end up winning the World Cup, they can have that notion for the rest of their life. Oh, we beat the winners of the 2000
Only team.
World Cup. Yeah. And we ended their unbeaten run.
Yeah.
36 games, which was great. So shout out Saudi Arabia. Shout out Saudi Arabia and fair play to them. They did really, really well in that one. One other goal I really, really liked, and this is just me, was the counter-attack from South Korea against Portugal. Remember when they scored the second one to win the game? It's Heung-min Son just running the length of the pitch. Then he slows down and he just nutmegs the defender for Portugal. And then they just scored to make it 2-1 in the last minute to knock out Uruguay and Ghana. I thought that was fantastic. That was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. I feel like there was a good goal in every single group stage. And knockout. Like there's been a good goal in almost every game.
Do you remember the group of Japan, Spain, Germany, and Costa Rica as well? And Costa Rica were leading. And like Costa
I didn't
Rica,
actually watch that game. Shit.
Yeah.
That was
That shit was
incredible,
crazy.
man. That was insane. We're looking at it and it's like this is ridiculous how well they play, how well it was as well. It's absolutely fine.
Can't think.
Ariel, how about you? Any favourite World Cup goals from your side?
Yeah, there's 2 that come to mind. Actually, 3. The first one is probably the Luis Chavez free kick from Mexico.
That was insane.
Where like that was, I mean, another, it's a little shameful that he's getting picked up until now, getting some recognition, because the kid's always been kind of good even in the Liga MX.
I'll be honest, I've never heard of him, so you can tell me all about him at this past time, because I've never heard of him.
Not surprised. I'm not surprised that you don't know anything about him.
You know me, I'm honest about these kind of things, because you get loads of people saying, oh yeah, I knew him from this. I was like, no idea. Where's he from? What position did he play in this for? How long has he been playing for Mexico? What would you say?
He's been playing. I mean, I don't know too much about him, but he didn't get picked up into the Mexico net. He didn't even play in the qualifiers all like that, because Tata liked his core. But Luis Chavez kind of came. It was kind of undeniable, right? Like, okay, we gotta take this kid. The talent's been there, and they've been wanting like. There's a reluctancy on the Liga MX to ship out their young Mexican players. So he's kind of been one of those cases now that he's like, I think 25 or 26. Like now they're talking about rumors about potentially him leaving, but that's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
At least to me, like in the CONCACAF, that's too late. Like you got to leave earlier than that. So, but to me, that's been one of my favorite goals to see. It also gave Mexico a little bit of hope, even though they were playing terrible.
Always offside that game. They just got caught out so much in that offside trap against Saudi Arabia. They should have scored another one. I was rooting for them to score, to be fair, so it just didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, the other one was I like Neymar's goal against Croatia. I thought like it was just that kind of old Neymar kind of coming through, and it gave Brazil a little bit of hope in life to get out of there. They just couldn't close out the game, but I really enjoyed that goal. It was a really good build up, and I'm a Brazil fan, so mm, I'm still gonna like the shit that they do. So it was just kind of like reminiscing of just old times, really.
With
Yeah.
me, that was a goal I was listening to on the radio as I was driving back home, and I remember calling my friend straight away because she support Brazil, and I was like, "This is insane." I was like, "How am I listening to this?" And Neymar's finally scored after a boring 0-0 game, all game, and then extra time comes, he then scores, and then Croatia then scoring later on in the extra time, which was insane. But I think it was just the fact. Do you guys reckon Neymar played through his injury?
Yeah.
To actually just continue at the World Cup, because I think if he gave himself another break or two, he would have been fully fit for that Croatia game instead of playing.
I think he was at his best. Like he may have still had like symptoms of pain or whatever, but the players out there, they'll take anything to kind of numb the pain. I think there's even that story where Ramos was even told where Salah got injured in the finals of the Champions League. Ramos was like, oh, like usually they just inject you and like you don't feel pain until like obviously after the game. It's kind of like an adrenaline rush. Like sometimes some of these players will like take these injections to kind of like numb that pain. I'm sure maybe he did, maybe he didn't take something, but man, you're in the World Cup. Like you gotta play, and even if you're feeling something a little bit, but I don't know. Neymar didn't look like he was slowing down. I think he played at his like level. I think just Brazil kind of let him down really, because the goal that they scored against Croatia, like it kind of was him by himself, kind of doing it all.
Mm.
That was like the only.
Bouncing the ball back off and like carrying on, just 1-2 in a combination.
Like that was the only outcome really for like Brazil.
I'm with you on that. I mean, I think like I think it's enough. I've had enough of seeing Thiago Silva be the captain of Brazil. Get him out of there. Like he's just not a good captain on this stage. Like I'm just tired of it because Neymar, he did get us that, but neither is Neymar. There should be no reason why you're not shooting a penalty, and why is Thiago Silva not fucking yelling at this fool? Go take one. Like it's just.
I think he was number
Nobody
5.
wanted to step up. Of course.
It's still stupid though. He should have taken one for sure.
He should have been the first.
He wants the glory.
But
You
what,
know, he
at
wants
what
the
glory? At what
but-
cost? Glory if you get to take the fifth penalty, if you get to take it. That was the whole thing.
No, it's like at the Olympics. He did it as well at the Olympics. Remember when he won gold? That's why it's always in his mind to take the fifth one, so that he can start off with the celebrations and run off. Which then made no sense because you're looking at it thinking, literally like you guys have just said, we always said, there's no glory in just scoring the fifth penalty and just running off. Because you
Yeah.
scored one of the other ones already and you set the tone. And
Yeah.
I think after this it's shown how important it really was compared to actually, if you take the fifth penalty, you get the glory and the celebrations and the photo shoot finish. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion anyway. Because again, being a Man United fan, one of our greatest moments happened when John Terry was number 5 to take a penalty against Man United when he was playing Chelsea. He then wanted to have the glory and take up, and then he missed it. And then Man United won the Champions League and all because John Terry wanted to take number 5 penalties, which set the tone for the penalty shootout. And it happens quite a lot as well. Because there's always been times in this World Cup when you're seeing players miss penalties, but it's never really on them. It's about the people that didn't step up to take a penalty. Do you guys know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
strikers at the pitch or the midfielders that have been on the pitch. Like, why are you not coming up to take a penalty? It happened at the Euros as well with England. You're looking at why Raheem Sterling didn't take a penalty or Jack Grealish didn't take a penalty. Really, really annoying. And it happened with England.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, you
previous
find it
World
often.
Cup.
So often, players that get subbed on that aren't like warmed up, they'll tend to miss penalties quite often, and it's actually happened quite often in this World Cup. It's kind of crazy. But I'm actually surprised that you said take away the captaincy from Thiago Silva, because we have 2 Brazilians that are on our podcast and they love Thiago Silva.
Oh boy, let's quit lying on ourselves. The man has been the captain for the last 3 World Cups, 4 World Cups.
I don't know, probably 3.
Come on, man. A beating against Germany, a horrible fucking outing. This one was just overhyped, and when we needed him to be there as a captain, nowhere to be found. Look, I look at
He didn't play
Argentina.
against Germany in the 7-1, even though I enjoyed that Germany when he didn't play. I do remember that.
I mean, I don't care, bro. Like he's still like to me, like it's time to thank you, but it's time to move on. Like no reason why you should be there. Like Militao should have been center back, and the fact that Dani Alves got taken, like for what? For the vibes? Like
Yeah.
it
Pretty
showed
much.
like the lack of depth. Like there could be no reason why Danilo's even in this fucking team. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? Like
the
your
entire
left
team
back
is
gets hurt,
vibes.
like you bring an injury prone left back. Yeah, the whole team is vibes. What the fuck do you need Dani Alves fucking from Pumas playing there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
that
look,
definitely
they
wasn't their
getting
best
heated
team, man.
Talking about this team. Yeah, like getting heated about this because it's just it's unfortunate because I mean Thiago Silva's been there, but I think a part of the blame does have to land on him, and I think that he's the captain, he's the one leading it. Like there should be no reason why you're not getting in Neymar's face
Hmm.
to go shoot that penalty. Like Emi Martinez would have gotten in Messi's face. Like
Hmm.
go shoot that shit. You're our best player.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Who would you have played over Thiago Silva at center back? Would it be Militao, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. I thought Militao did great as a right back. I was like, I didn't even know this man could play this position.
Yeah, he's just a baller,
I
man.
was like,
He's a baller.
he's a beast, man.
And you've got Bremer at centre back as well. That he could have been
Yeah.
probably played in this team as well, which would have been a good start for his career as well for Brazil. You've got Bremer, you've got Militao coming through. Marquinhos has probably got one more World Cup, maybe 2 World Cups. If he goes down that Thiago Silva route, going till 38, 39. A lot of big defenders coming through from Brazil, but I agree with you, Ariel. Not a lot of fullbacks coming through, like quality.
No,
fullbacks
none, man.
that we're used to seeing from Brazil. The rest of the world has caught up with how Brazilians just have amazing fullbacks, attacking fullbacks. Danilo, Alex Telles, they're not it.
And
A lot of
Sandro.
people- Yeah, Alexandro's past it. Dani Alves, as we know, and we've seen, past it. So
When you're relying on Juventus fullbacks, you know you're down the mud.
Like there you go. There you go. You said it. Yeah, it's a shame because that's always been, I think, like a trademark of Brazil is to have those fullbacks that are attacking, or if they're not attacking, like they're solid, you know, at least somewhat functional defensively. And that's just not what I mean. That goal, I mean, Danilo was cramping up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was done.
And Alexandro was out of
And
position.
and you'd rather have, you know, you'd rather have him out there than a fully fit Dani Alves. Like that tells us, like where we're at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. And then you take Alex Telles, that's what, a backup that used to be a backup at Man U, and now
now the
where's he
backup
at?
at
'Cause he got
Sevilla.
loaned out.
Couldn't even get in the first team at Sevilla.
He just keeps getting relegated.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, and he somehow got a call up to the World Cup, which was incredible. And
They got nothing
he got
else.
injured, so crazy.
He got injured.
All right, boys. I gotta go to work. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you guys soon for sure. But
No worries. Thanks for
enjoy the rest of the game.
We got the rest of the game. The
Make
boys
sure
are
you
coming
got
onto the
your
pitch.
photo on in the background, so you can see Morocco get this 2-1 victory.
Oh, buddy, I'm gonna have it on my phone. All right, see ya, boys.
Ciao, ciao,
Take
ciao.
care. See you later.
Have fun, man.
Ciao, dude.
What is that sound? That sounds it's coming from yours. I thought it was mine.
Is it coming from me?
Yeah. Is there a vibration on your desk or something?
And that's game on, boys.
Yeah, second half started. Oh, how are you feeling about this though? You expecting an easy win for France?
Surprisingly, Morocco haven't sat back, man. They're still going, and just like France too, like they're not sitting back either. Like they know, like, hey, it's one goal. Like it's not gonna change much. I mean, it will change a lot compared to the result. Like they'll still have a lot to go with. So
Yeah, I agree.
It's just
You're looking at it.
it's just 1-0, and like you see the chances that Morocco's had, like they're bound to get one. And have they had more chances at goal? It was pretty similar, honestly.
Yeah, it's been similar. No one's taking it by more. Oh, Ziyech, man. Come on. Ugh. But no, if there is a Morocco goal, I will go crazy. I won't even lie. I'm just gonna be there like this is gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Because with this 5-4-1 formation that they've got as well, Morocco, you're looking at it, you're thinking they may have got the actual anti-Mbappe plan right for them, because you're looking at how they've stayed in the game. Like I mentioned earlier at halftime, they're staying in the game. They're actually competing on the counter-attacking point of view and trying to get goals from set pieces. It works really well for what they're looking at doing.
Morocco's still going.
Theo Hernandez.
Mbappe here.
Mbappe versus Amrabat. Mbappe has left him on the floor. Oh!
He slipped.
Yeah, he definitely slipped that. Definitely slipped that as well, which is insane.
He's too quick, man. He's too quick.
Right, question for you.
Yes.
If Mbappe then wins his second World Cup, if he wins his second World Cup, is he in GOAT status already for 2 World Cups?
Jay was already saying on the podcast that if he wins this one, he's like probably at Pele level. But again, he still has a lot to do. He still has a young career so far. Like, if his career ends tomorrow, is it enough? Because
Okay, yeah, I get that point of view. Let's do. Oh, Griezmann's through. Oh, Mbappe. Oh,
No.
He's injured the goalkeeper, man.
Bono.
Come
Ooh.
on. Bono. Another Sevilla play. Right, let's do it this way. If Mbappe wins the World Cup and then his career ends for whatever reason, is he a greatest of all time?
No.
I would say so, because he would just become the household name for French football forever.
No, I don't. I still don't think he. It's hard, man. Because yeah, he's done a lot for the national team, but club level,
Yeah,
what's he
I think
won?
it's
Just
that.
club level. He just had League One titles, and it's not like, yeah, it's a lot, but it's like it's League One. Like, you know what I mean? Go win Champions League. Go win the Premier League. Like, that's like a harder feat, I feel like. And yeah, World Cup is obviously one of the hardest trophies to ever achieve, but it's not like he's. I don't know. It's the team itself, and this France team is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's not like you're playing with Costa Rica, right?
no, for
It's
sure.
not like it's not like you're playing with that level of player.
And even that, like being said, like you've had Messi, Ballon d'Ors, 5, 7, whatever it is now. It's 7, right? So, like
Yeah.
that out of its own, like he's already like he doesn't need a World Cup to really justify the level of goatness that he has, right? Because solely as like the individual trophies he's achieved already, it's like it's crazy. If Mbappe wins his World Cup, okay, yeah, he's gold status, but he needs to like win that Ballon d'Or. He needs to win that Best Player award. He needs to, he's
He
already.
needs the individual accolades to be considered in that status.
So he's
Yeah.
going to a different league, man. He needs to show that he can like last
Yeah.
in another league. Like
Yeah.
the League One is just too lax, man.
And that's the thing. Like
vacation.
he's winning these trophies in Ligue 1, like top assister, top goals last season. You know what I mean? But if you're feeding Messi and Neymar and they're feeding you every single game, it's a lot easier than than not, right? Man, you see half the goals that he's scoring. They're
That's the
like,
thing, though, like, would he go to Real Madrid or would he go to one of these bigger teams to actually, well, not bigger teams, yeah, like even these teams outside of France to actually compete in that way? Or would he be really happy just being like an international player for France, being the poster boy for PSG for another 3-4 years, and then just literally just going, oh yeah, I'll be ready for the next Euros, I'll be ready for the next.
but he's so fortunate enough to be part of a nation like France. Like imagine Mbappe, if he's in this quality of football and his world class level.
Oh my god! Oh wow!
He could have been like Cameron.
You know what I mean? Like imagine. No, that's fine. He's fine.
It's alright. It's good.
Imagine
What a
him.
run, though.
Imagine him like on USA or Canada. You know what I mean? Or like even like look at Haaland. He can't even make the World Cup, right? And he's achieving
that's
a
true.
lot. He's
That's
achieving a
very
lot.
true.
But like, who's to say that Haaland's not a world class player or who could not be a GOAT? Why? Because he's not winning World Cups. He's not able to. You know what I mean? If Haaland doesn't win a World Cup, but he wins a Ballon d'Or, he wins a top goal scorer for Premier League, beats Shearer's record, like that. Those are big achievements. As an individual, like awards was so.
Mbappe's now injured.
Is he done here?
Yeah, that's an interesting point because it's going to be a way of how do you look at it? Do you look at it of how the player's done for himself, or do you look at it of how the player's done for his team or for his country?
Yeah.
Because I looked at it at how well he's done for his country, but when you're looking at it from like the Haaland point of view, how well he does for his team, or the Messi one of how well he's done for himself. With Messi, he's done well for himself to elevate his team, to elevate his club. Ronaldo's done the same, especially for his country, making Portugal a stronger nation than they had ever been. Probably since the 1960s, I would say as well. So that's what I mean in terms of greatness, because all the great players will have greatness one way or another. It's like with Kevin De Bruyne, he's been crap for Belgium, respectively. He has been, not just this one, but the previous one as well. But he's been fantastic for Manchester City over the years as well, and has got them to a higher caliber of status as well.
Yeah, he's made a team that you thought can be better, much better. And that's just one player.
Mentality is everything,
for sure.
and you're seeing that in a lot of these new players come through, which is fantastic to see.
And
Like
another,
in this game,
yeah.
chance, Morocco, chance.
Oof.
Oh, cross.
There it is. Oof.
What? Oh.
Example, Cruyff. You know what I mean? 2 World Cup finals, hasn't won a World Cup, but he's still GOAT. You know what I mean? He's changed the game. Like he's changed the game. He's brought new style of football, like even the Cruyff turn, everything, right? So, oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Like Morocco have it, but they just need like that last touch, the last finish, the last like.
They are almost there. They're literally they're knocking on this door. What an out to in run.
That's a beautiful run.
The floor.
Right around Koundé too. Oh my god.
Goodness, me and that almost finished off as well.
That Kouyaté clearing that out? Jesus.
No, I agree. Ariel, what do you think? Agree or disagree with what we just said?
That he's GOAT status? No, not yet. I mean, I think like I said, I think he needs to move leagues, and I mean he's so young. I mean, I think he has the potential of going down as one of the best. But I think to me, like an asterisk for him, like it's gonna just be for him in his career, at least in my eyes, is that he's playing at a time where the Ligue 1 is not as strong as it used to be, and he's on the best team with the most resources, with the best players. So he doesn't, to me, I don't think that's crazy like adversity. He's also playing on a French team that's stacked out of its mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just so stacked at almost every position that to me is just kind of an asterisk. Like, I think like I want to see him when he's like maybe 30 or something like that, when the French team is not as big, and then he has like a moment like Messi's having a moment right now where like Argentina is as great as they are because Messi is just on another level right now. Like Maradona had that level of thing in the World Cup that they won. Like I need to see a level like that, like from Mbappe, and he's not there yet. I think he's the best player at this tournament, but I don't think that. I also think that that's just different factors. Being on the best team, probably being super fit because he's not being challenged as much in that league. So I don't know. That's just kind of for me. Like I think it's just always going to be an asterisk for me, unless like he goes and does some different adversity. Like I just don't think he's facing that much adversity. Me personally.
Because there's only adversity when you're thinking about it. It's coming in international tournaments and European competition in the Champions League.
When you're looking at the French domestic league, Marseille, Lyon, Rennes, probably, yeah, that's probably it. That's probably who they're kind of facing in difficulty, and Monaco maybe as well, um, in the domestic league as well. And besides that, they can rest players against the rest of the teams as well. And you'll see it every weekend. Messi scoring two, Mbappe scoring an amazing goal against like Metz or someone, and it happens. Oh, Morocco, what play? What play? Get it in! Shoot! Hakimi! Oh!
Turn. My goodness. But they're putting everything into it, man. They see even Hakimi in the box, right? Like they have to. They're throwing everything into the freaking pot right now.
Hakim Ziyech.
Nice turn. Oof. If you would have fallen there, is that a foul? No way.
Oh no, it's a goal kick. It's a goal kick.
Oh, someone's boots ripped up.
I think it's Mbappe.
Yeah.
The ref's letting the lot go, which is good. It's good for the game. Oh, that's a foul. Yeah, it's fine. Mbappe is fine. It's good. Right. Next topic of conversation from me as well. Who's been the biggest flop in this tournament? So who's had the biggest expectance of doing well and has not done very well in terms of players or teams? So for me personally, I've said it before, I thought Denmark were a big flop from the European point of view. Belgium were as well. But after everything that's happened, England have been a very big flop in this tournament, unfortunately. You expected more from them, you expected more in terms of how well they could have played. In terms of player, would you say Harry Kane's been a flop in this tournament, you guys? What do you think?
I think so. I think so because everyone had him as their, top goal scorer, the
Golden
boots,
Boot.
the Golden Boot winner, and what he got one penalty, 2 goals, 3 goals. How many goals did he get?
2 goals, 1 penalty and 1 against Senegal.
Yeah. So, is that saying much from someone that you expect to be top goal scorer? And again, like when you needed him most, was he there? Was he present? Right.
He wasn't there, he wasn't present, his mind was absent, his body was bent back and the ball went over the bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's a quality a lot of English players have at World Cups, hitting penalties wayward, which is really, really annoying. Harry Kane could honestly be the flop of the tournament. I wouldn't put it past him. To come back and do really well for Tottenham, because that's what he does, is fantastic. He's a textbook striker, but for England, when the pressure's on him, in the biggest games of all, it doesn't happen. He didn't do it against Italy, he didn't do it literally against France.
Mm-hmm.
Even in some of the Nations League game that we have as well, the qualifiers that we have, doesn't really do that well, which is really, really annoying.
Besides that, I think even like team-wise, I think Brazil too. Like, man, they needed to be at least in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Kind of upsetting that they were knocked out so early. Not so early, but they were favorites. They were favorites. So I was even talking to the guys. They're Brazilian, so they were saying like, yeah, like semifinals is like at least calling because they had them as favorites from like what 2 years now. They've had them as favorites.
They had the good run in as well, that's the thing. Playing against South Korea, playing against Croatia or Japan respectively, they were games that they were expected to win against them. Croatia they beat in 2014 in their home World Cup, and they had a I think 2-1 or 3-1 victory against Croatia, which was good to see. But Ariel will say this as well. Like, did their attack just kind of let them down as well as their defense? We've spoken about the defense earlier. I thought their midfield was pretty good, but even though they have strength and depth in their attack, when you're looking at some of these other players, these Rodrigos, these Gabriel Jesus who are injured, Anthony, Man United player, I really liked him, Rafinha, did these other players around Richarlison and Vinicius Junior kind of let them down? I thought they did. I thought it was literally Neymar, Vinicius, Richarlison, and then the rest didn't turn up. In my opinion, I really didn't think they did enough to warrant being like proper Brazilian legends or proper Brazilian World Cup players, which is really really annoying. I thought Martinelli was very good in that third game that he played, but
Yeah.
he didn't really get a game unfortunately, which wasn't great for him.
I think even Anthony, he wasn't the greatest options when he was going forward. Like he would come on, but a lot of individual kind of creativeness. He wasn't really creating for the team or supplying much for the squad in general. So I think
Exactly.
Anthony wasn't really the greatest player on the pitch for me when it came on to like substitutions. And Chicha, I think he got some of the substitutions wrong as well, even in the quarterfinals against Croatia. Should he have brought in Anthony? Should he have kept Rodrigo? Should he kept Rafinha? Should he kept Vinny on?
Yeah, the Vinny substitution for me was way too early looking to change up. Like, he's the one that makes things happen in that Brazil team with Neymar.
Mm-hmm.
And literally when Neymar came off, when Vinny came off, Neymar was looking around for options to actually really see what happened. And I think what happened, unfortunately, was they just couldn't find another way besides their way of getting through in their attack, playing through midfielders and defenders trying to get through. But foul! Oh! Oh, it's clear. It's alright. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that on the subs in that last game. But I thought there were some bright stars, at least some bright spots in Brazil. Like I thought Militao had a good World Cup. I thought Lucas Paqueta had a good World Cup. I thought he was known for his dancing, but um, I don't think he played bad. I thought Anthony had a poor one. I think every time that they went through him, he just stopped the ball. He just stopped the flow for whatever reason. He just passed it back. Like
We take too many
I think the
cycles.
problem with those subs was just like he brought on people that do identical things. You know what I'm saying? Like you switch out Rafinha and Anthony. I mean, it's kind of the same thing you're getting. Rodrigo and Vinicius. I mean, Vinny. I mean, I don't even know why he took him out, but I thought Casemiro had a pretty good World Cup as well.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't want to say. And Richarlison, I mean, I think he had a great World Cup for a player that honestly I don't even think is that good. Um, like to be leading this line, I don't think that he should be up there. But Brazil that doesn't have one in line. They don't have a striker. Like they don't have one lined up. So he's the best that we have. I'm not even Brazilian, but I throw myself in there. So.
Get the passport,
Yeah.
ready, get the visa sorted. It's gonna happen.
Look, man, I'm Moroccan now, so my team never makes
You
it.
could
But
pass for French
you know.
Montana. That's all I'm saying. If someone was watching
Yeah,
the stream
right.
and it said featuring French Montana, people would be.
I might just
looking
change
at-
my name for that. I might just change my name to French Montana. It's
Literally,
not the
if
first
you
time
could-
that I've been told
If
that.
they had YouTube tags in this video and it had French Montana Morocco, they'd look at you and be like, "Wow, French Montana's on this stream." He'd be great.
He's married.
Yeah. What's he doing on the stream? He should be in New York celebrating,
Mhm.
making fun of Ronaldo. Oh man.
Going back to your question about flops, I mean, I think I would say two that kind of come up for me. One is Qatar, and that's not to say that I was expecting them to go hella far, but I think as the host nation, I thought that they did pretty poorly. Like they were just like that first game, they were like, I mean, the whistle blew and their knees started trembling. I mean, poor guys, they were nervous, and it's crazy because, and then I think this goes hand in hand with the next kind of group is the CONCACAF. I thought we did horrible for the fact that Qatar came to play in the Gold Cup, which is like the tournament for the CONCACAF teams, and they came here and they looked like prime Brazil. Like it was just kind of shocking to see them not do as well, uh, in the tournament, considering the fact that they're the host.
And they won
And
the
then
Asian Cup
CONCACAF.
as well, not too long ago, before the before the World Cup as well. So people were like, oh yeah, they beat Saudi Arabia, they beat Korea, they beat some of these bigger teams, they beat Iran to get to the final.
Yeah.
Which was insane. And then obviously, like you said, first game came, they were just like a bunch of like miserable uncles on the pitch trying to just hit the plays as opposed to tackle them and play the game of football, arguing with the referee
Yeah,
with
yeah.
little things that you're just like these are like professional footballers that are trying to hit people, which made no sense to me, literally no sense to me. And I'm like, is this the kind of World Cup we're in for as well? And Ecuador played their part really well.
Yeah.
They really could have gone to town with them as well, but Qatar just couldn't hack it. Same against Senegal, same against Netherlands as well. But do you actually think Qatar can actually develop their team further? Because for me personally, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I don't think we're going to see Qatar at World Cup for a good 4 or 5 World Cups.
Ever again.
Ever again. Maybe not in our lifetime, because they're still a very young footballing nation and they're not developing players at a rate that other Arab other Arab teams are doing. That I think is great. Iran doing great. Saudi Arabia doing great. Chance. Oh.
Yeah, I was really hopeful for. They have a player. Qatar had a Fifi. I thought he was a good player, but he just didn't show up, man. I mean, the whole team didn't really show up, so it was it was kind of sad to see them. I mean, it must be so much pressure, though. I think like if I have to think about like the team with the most pressure, I would probably say it's Qatar. I mean, those poor guys were just not set up to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like they were just. I mean, there was just so much. Like almost like drama around this World Cup, you know, like on their bid.
A
how they
lot of
got
yeah.
it,
A lot of
a lot of like a lot of media attention. People like kind of like not really believing that they think this is like fake for them and shit like that. Like there's all these like things about paid fans and bad working conditions. Like there's so much going on around this World Cup, and then for the team to also hold that for the country, like I can only
Not
imagine
just the
like
team,
what.
but the public as well, which is crazy when you're thinking about it. When you see
Yeah, there was reports that the fans left in the first game at halftime.
Yeah.
some of these stadiums looked empty at first
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the tournament.
Because it's literally just a new way of culture for them as well. Like with a lot of fans, in all of the grounds basically across from for France, nothing. Oh, okay. Good day. Oh, Varane score. Oh my days. It's offside. Never mind. But yeah, in all of the grounds, they have prayer rooms as well, basically. So as you may have seen the videos online of like fans going in and out of the grounds to pray.
Oh,
In
okay.
different, but in Qatar, they'd be inside the stadium.
Mhm.
But a lot of fans and a lot of the stadia have reported like fake numbers.
Yes.
Like attendances and stuff like that as well.
I remember the first game.
So-
Like a stadium had like capacity of like 70,000, for example, and they report like 76. Like, where do you fit
it's
6,000
like
extra
all the
people?
population.
Are you counting like all the cameramen? Are you counting like all the workers? Are you counting like?
Mm-hmm.
It was very odd.
People
very,
passing
very odd.
by.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those where, like, for me as a Muslim guy, when you're hearing things like, oh yeah, they've got prayer rooms in, the fans can go and pray before, during, and after the game. Oh yeah, it's great. And then when you're seeing them make up numbers, you're just like, you're not doing yourself a service here, Qatar. Like, you want to get people on your side and stuff like that as well.
100%.
And they did it,
100%.
which was not great at all. It's like, oh, is that a foul? That's a foul. Nearly 70 minutes, and it's looking like, yeah, it's not going to be yellow card. It's like you want to see more positive things, and a lot of positive things have come from like social media, like people meeting like just locals outside of the grounds after games, and then feeding them different foods and local cuisine and stuff like that as well, which sounds great. It looked great as well, which was fantastic to see. But the main kind of officials for Qatar as well, I think we can all kind of agree. I think they went a bit overboard with trying to back some of the things that have gone wrong for them. Like sometimes you can just admit, oh yeah, we made a mistake, we're trying to rectify that. Like recently, when there was that migrant worker that passed away in
Oh,
the
yeah.
stadium.
He
And
said
it's like,
people die, it
let
happens.
happen. Yeah. And you're like, okay, is this Mad Max out of nowhere? Just like, oh yeah, if he dies, he dies. It's crazy. Rocky 4, if he dies, he dies. That's so bad to see. And you're literally just like, you wanna see them help themselves, but they do not help themselves. Um, but I think Ariel's right. The media scrutiny is there. Chance. Oh, why? The media scrutiny is crazy because we've never seen a World Cup with this much media scrutiny ever in my lifetime. It's been crazy to see how well they've handled that, but also how they're looking to develop themselves as well going forward as a nation. Can tell. 20 minutes left. What's going to happen now? Are we going to keep it at 1-0? I think it could go to 2-0 France. Personally, I think it could go to 2-0 France. Ariel, you're on mute. Oh, your audio's gone.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah, the game's kind of slowed down.
France
in
are
France's
managing it
favor,
very
really.
well.
Yeah.
They can just keep possession and make sure no one's actually trying to win back the ball. I think the substitution has worked really well. Marcus Thuram coming on, Mbappe through the middle, so they can just hold the ball now, which makes it easier for them as well. Hakimi's got a different problem on the right hand side to deal with, which is crazy. But yeah, I want something amazing to happen for Morocco. I really do, but it's not looking likely, especially with this front four that France have as well. It's insane, it really is. I've got a question for both of you now.
Mhm.
So both of you are based in North America, and the next World Cup will be based in North America. Have you started saving for the World Cup, and what's it going to be looking like for both of you guys as well? One's in Canada and one's in the USA. So how would that kind of work? Ariel, I'll ask you first, seeing as you're based in the USA, and I've made jokes about staying over at your house when the World Cup is.
Wait, what was your question?
Are you preparing for the World Cup?
Where are you located
I only
again?
heard you staying at my house.
Yeah, I told you before, and I'm going to tell you again. Every time we have a conversation, I have to remind you that when the World Cup comes in 2026, I need to stay at your house for the games. What's your
Okay.
closest stadium to where you live?
To
for the
me,
World Cup?
Levi's.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cross. And then for footy culture, it's Toronto, isn't it? So you're gonna.
Yeah, the BMO, which they have a lot to do before that even happens. The stadium does not carry enough people for it to be a World Cup stadium.
Because are they gonna extend the capacity to what was it?
I think it holds like 40 now. They have to do at least
Yeah.
60. I think they're looking at. And like, it's
Yeah.
a stadium where it's like open, right? Like they don't have like that round shape. It's more like just the bleachers. So I'm not sure how they'll extend it, how they'll make the capacity larger. It also is a little bit difficult, not difficult to navigate, but it's a lot of just kind of one train. It is in a smaller, like it's a closer area. It's like in downtown Toronto. So yeah, I wonder how that's gonna be.
At least it's not where the baseball stadium is, right? Because that's near the CN Tower.
If anything, I'd say that would be a lot nicer, just because there is a lot more to do around that area, and it's a lot like roomy. It's roomy compared to
You
like
have nice views there as well.
yeah, compared to the actual stadium, the BMO stadium. Like it's kind of like it's weird. There's like a parking lot. Like it's kind of more just like of it hidden in its own area. But like example, if they did make like that, if the baseball stadium was like size to like actually hold a nice pitch, like that would be a great place to host a game.
Yeah, because I think one of the stadiums in Miami is the Hard Rock Stadium, and that's an American football stadium, which is going to hold some of the games for that World Cup as well, which will be incredible. Because
But it works, right? So
yeah,
pitches
it's got the
pitches
stadium there, it's got the
pitches
infrastructure
yeah.
there as
The
well.
pitch is pretty similar in size too compared to diamond baseball.
Definitely, it's going to be crazy to see how it goes. But are you guys planning to save up, like, to go to all of these different games and events as well in your kind of local area? I mean, it's not local, but in your home countries, I should say.
100%, 100%. We're definitely looking to do that. 'Cause my brother wanted to guitar this year, but I'm like, man, it's gonna like cost you an arm and a leg. He's been saving up, but it's gonna be a lot, not cheaper, but a lot more easier for it to be local and even like just a couple hour drive south, a short plane ride south, or like a couple days just to go watch the game. Like you're not really traveling for a couple weeks out of your country to like watch a couple games. You know what I mean? You can watch games here and there. Um, Besides that, I'm not sure how the ticket sales are going to be. If they're going to be just as difficult, I'm sure they will be. It's the World Cup.
It's FIFA.
It's
They're
FIFA.
very difficult. They're very like FIFA and UEFA are very difficult ways of trying to get tickets. Like
Because even
last year. Sorry, Karen.
even Jay was able to get some tickets, but he was actually never actually bought them. Like he was actually won a couple draws.
Oh, okay.
He actually won a couple of them, but he wasn't able to actually. Well, he just didn't want to spend that kind of cash, right?
Insane amount of cash.
One thing is a ticket. The other thing is like the stay, your food, your everything else. Like I'm hearing people spending over $20,000 just to come to some of these games, right? So it's crazy.
It'd have a really good Instagram picture as well if you were to do it, but not $20,000 worth.
Well, we were lucky enough. We did our Europe trip a couple of months ago. We went to England,
Yeah, I saw that. I was speaking
Spain,
to the guys about that as well.
Spain,
Went to
France.
Italy, you saw Man City and Man United.
Yeah.
You went to watch Arsenal as well, right?
We went to the stadium. We did a couple of stadium tours as well, and then we did do a couple of games. We saw the Milan Juve, the Manchester Derby. I saw a couple Barca games, and yeah, I saw another United Spurs game, but obviously that was expensive, but not as expensive as you think coming to the World Cup. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah, we were there for 3 weeks, so it does add up, but it's kind of something you do once in a lifetime. So we enjoyed it for sure.
Next time you're in England, let me know. We'll have to meet up. And if
For
you
sure.
watch a not very good team, watch Man United.
I watched 2 United games. At least they won one of them. The other one they didn't win.
Was it the Europa League game you watched that they won?
They won They watched the Euro game which they faced against Spurs.
Mbappe,
Sheriff.
Mbappe! Oh my God!
Wow.
Colomboani!
Colomboani.
Wow.
Gets subbed on and scores right away. This guy.
Did you see his dribbling?
He's something else, man. He's something else.
Giroud, the best player in the tournament. Come on. You seeing this? Are you seeing this?
I get the comments going.
Oh. President's Cup. Let's look at this again. We've been waiting for this all game, literally. Tchouameni on the ball, takes on a guy. Who gets into the middle of the field. Foreigners running with it. Mbappe, outside turns. Thuram.
Oh my goodness.
Those 2 defenders. Mbappe, outside, in. Inside, outside, out. And then Colomboani. I thought that was offside.
It could be close. It could be close.
Man, I hope they reverse this. But
No, I think it's on.
Deflected off the defender. No, he's on. He ran past.
Yeah,
the
right there,
defender.
right there.
Number 18.
That's just unlucky, man. Right, hits off a defender, the ball goes right to his feet, and simple tap in.
Oh.
Lafleur in the chat
Mbappe
saying,
versus Messi
"Looks like
final,
this
man.
chat
This
this game is
insane.
over." Yep.
Unreal. This is unreal. I think after this I'm going to go on to FIFA. I'm going to play Morocco versus France. Have you seen those memes of people going online and being like, "Oh, I just needed a relaxing game of FIFA," and it's like England 149 nil.
Yeah.
France were playing like amateur.
Yeah.
I
I
might
saw
do
that
that
with Mexico.
No, it's
I saw
good.
the one with Mexico. The dude's just like breathing hella hard, beating Argentina like 50-0 or something like that.
Man, the
Yeah,
time it takes to
it's
sit down
so
and
fun.
and play those games, like, just for content, anything for content. Morocco had one in them, man. They had one in them. They couldn't put it away. At least one.
I know, dude.
That would have lightened the game up a little bit, at least.
Well, they just look done.
Thing with Morocco though, they've hit their ceiling and they've done ever so well. And it's a proper underdog story that we've witnessed today as well. The fact that they actually took on all these teams and they got to a semi-final. Because I genuinely thought their ceiling was Portugal. I thought Ronaldo's Portugal, Bruno Fernandes, Portugal, João Felix was in good form as well, Rafael Leao coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
They were so stubborn and resolute in defence and it was great. But when you've got the kind of quality that Kylian Mbappe possesses, here he is again. Here he is again.
Mm-hmm. The game changer, man.
Honestly, it's unlocked.
Portugal just don't. They just don't have that.
Yeah, they don't have
They have
that.
very good
It's different.
talents. They don't have top class, world class talents.
I don't know. If Leao was starting,
They have a
he's
good
something
team.
close to that. Like, Leao can create on his own, but he would always get subbed in.
He's too
I
lax
think we've
with
been
the
robbed
ball,
of
man. He
Rafael
needs to learn
Leao
how to
in the
protect
tournament
the ball.
personally.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
me being
gives away the ball
again,
too
me
easily
being
for
me,
me.
a Man United fan, I think we've been robbed of Marcus Rashford as well. But more Rafael Leao from Portugal, because if you're kind of dropping them for someone, you don't really need to start Otavio in midfield. You can put Fernandes back into midfield, and then you can kind of play Rafael Leao, João Felix, and Ramos up front, which will work really well. Felix can play on the left, and Leao can play on the right, and you can rotate the wingers because they're both right-footed, and they like to cut inside and shoot. I think it would have worked really well, and it'd been a lot more threatening than having Bruno Fernandes as a right winger, from what we saw. Morocco just wasting possession now. Come on now.
That's your guy, man. Bruno Fernandes.
Hakim Ziyech was the guy who was backing. I was backing. I was hoping it could have been one more time, but it's not the case. And the back
But hey, man, they're still making history coming into semifinals. African squad.
Do you reckon that's going to happen in 2026? We're going to see Canada get semi-final, USA get semi-final.
No, I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. As much as our teams are getting better,
Sport is a big thing. Home support is a very big thing.
as much as our
We saw
teams
that
are,
in Brazil in 2014 as well. Russia 2018. It's insane.
as much as our teams are getting better, man, the rest of the teams don't slow down either.
It's coming to the right time for you now as well, which is good. Like, your younger players are coming up at the right time, which is great. Junior Hoyler, who was like one of your OG professional players in European football, is at the end of it now. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
development.
there's quite a few. There's a handful of players who are kind of and like are ending their career now with the national team. But I'm sure by 2024 we're gonna have a lot more players coming up and just shining and breaking through the first team in the next couple of years.
Yeah, if
I
anything,
mean, there's no way Hutchinson's there. Right?
Oh, 100% no.
Right? I mean, that's my guy though. He's a warrior. That's one of my favorite Canadian players. Warrior.
Man.
Give me 10 Hutchinsons at a younger age.
A lot younger.
A lot younger. Exactly.
I don't know. We had our cleat players.
That's my
At the
guy.
same time, I don't know if our manager's still that right manager, kind of like bring us out. You know, who can compete internationally, not just like in like a CONCACAF. Someone to like really, bring something different. Like a European manager who is like, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, our gaffer was quality. He was able to bring this team together. Like, I'm not sure if anyone else would have been able to create this like family style like camaraderie this team has, and like I don't know, it's different, but I just don't know if he can bring it to the next level now. Well, even what's happening
There's
with
a
like
lot of managers out here.
Ziyech.
even what's happening with like Gio Reyna on the national team too, like that's something that's like crazy,
Your
right?
boy, Ariel, your boy.
That's
Gio
my guy,
Reyna.
man. That's my guy, man. He getting untreated fairly. I think that's gonna fuck up his international career, to be honest with you.
But who's are you
Get
are
rid of the
you?
manager.
Yeah,
Huh?
I'd get rid of the manager personally.
I mean, he's probably already one foot out the door. He probably wants to go and probably play like be a manager in Europe or something, get another go.
I'm sorry though.
But yeah, man, he just threw him under the bus, man. It's just like you don't do that to a 20-year-old. I don't care if the kid is having a bad attitude. Like that's what you're there for, dude. Like what are you talking about? Like it's just like it really reminds me of Carlos Vela and the reason he would sit out of playing for Mexico. Like very similar
He was bratty.
scenarios. Isn't man? I don't know if it just only happens in the CONCACAF. I feel like it only happens in the CONCACAF. And I don't know if that's just because that's the region that I'm in, but like, man, similar scenarios, man. You gotta sit out arguably the most talented player on the team for whatever fucking reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Unfortunate situation.
but I don't know. As soon as I saw the American manager come out to the pitch with a T-shirt, his chinos, and a pair of Jordans, I'm like, this guy does not represent the nation. Suit up a little bit. Wear a tracksuit. Wear a suit. Wear a nice little sweater vest or something. I don't know, like coming out in
Show some
Jordan.
class.
Come out in Jordans with a T-shirt.
Represent
Hey,
the USA as well.
his shoes are pretty tight though. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah.
His shoes are pretty tight.
Looks like it's gonna be France, Argentina in the grand finale.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say this is more or less done in this game.
So who do you guys have? Who do you guys have? The final, France, Argentina.
I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to go for France. I think with the experience that they have as well, I think they're going to ruin Lionel Messi's party. I could look silly looking back on this, but I know for a fact that I think that France have got that experience there. They have a superior midfield as well, in my opinion, so that's going to be a very big battle at the same time. The only thing that worries me about France is their defensive liability, and that's what Argentina just ruined Croatia with recently as well, and they ruined the Netherlands with it as well. So a lot of people's arguments, which is quite funny if you hear it, is when you hear it out loud, is Argentina haven't played a team that are just as good as them. But when you haven't played a team just as good as them, it shows how well you are as a team. But France are probably on par. Then yeah, they're probably similar levels, I would say. But I think France will edge it on Sunday afternoon, I would say. How about you? What are we saying?
10 a.m.
Yeah,
I want
early morning for you. You're not working or anything, are you? Right?
not Sundays, no.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. So I get to enjoy that. And then yeah, I want France to. Okay, it's difficult. As a South American, I'd want a South American team to win.
Yeah.
But the thing with Argentinians, and I'm not sure if you guys have any Argentinian friends or like even know like just the culture, it is a little bratty. And I get it, like they think they're the best, they're gonna think that mentally they're gonna perform like it. So obviously even the players too on the pitch, you've seen how they act, right? Paredes, Messi, even like now surprisingly how he's getting the frustration and kind of like showing it now, right? Even like the Paul, like
Rodrigo the cool.
they're so like they're annoying because like at the same time like yeah, like respect, like you're a good team, you're a good player, like you have one of the greatest players of all time playing with you, but like humble yourself a little bit, right? Like there's no reason to kind of like attack people. They're a little bit dirty when it comes to tackles too, and they're tackle players. So like I just assume that if they're even like 1-0 down, like they're gonna start tackling hard. They're gonna look for that anything they can get to really get that win. But I think France do have it. And honestly, all it is just it's just Messi really carrying that whole squad. Honestly,
Because you know what the narrative will be when if Argentina win, it will literally be, "Oh, Messi carried this Argentina side to the final to win. He is the greatest player of all time." Blah, blah.
which he did.
Which is true. Yeah, which is
Without
true.
Messi, this team loses
But
in the
what
group
would the
stage.
narrative be if France win? So if France win, what would the storyline be? Mbappe winning two? Will it be Messi messing up two World Cup finals in his career?
It would be Mbappe. It would be Mbappe, man.
It'll be Mbappe, won't it? Yeah, it won't be about Messi missing two finals or Messi.
It would be Mbappe because end of the day, like Messi too, like he can carry. Mbappe's kind of carrying somewhat of this France squad, but this French squad just position put position like it's so much better, so much clearer. Besides the Messi role, like get Messi out that squad, like I don't see them coming out of the like round of 16 or even group stage. Even that game against Mexico,
Well,
like
yeah,
Messi took over, right? And I think that loss against Saudi Arabia, like Messi's like shit, like I gotta do this myself.
Oh, Mbappe. Mbappe again.
He's like, oh, okay,
Wow.
here we go.
This guy is so crazy to watch. Unreal.
But I don't know. I do want
Yeah,
France to
Messi just
win.
had to turn it on.
I do want France to win.
By the way,
No,
I want Argentina to win, but I think France will win. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It
Oof.
should be good.
Yeah,
Because
I gotta
obviously
say,
in English, I know a lot more French people than I do Argentinian people, so I don't really want my French colleagues and friends to be smug again for another 4 years of winning the World Cup, which isn't great. In that
Yep.
kind of way.
well, they're both kind of teams that are kind of smuggy. So you're getting it on the European side, and I feel like on the Latin American side, we get the same thing with Argentinians. So I feel like I'm with you on the Argentinians in South America and just the Americas. Like it's just not. They've just never, at least for me, like I've never felt like
Oof.
they really represent Latin America. At least to me, like
Oh, really? That's interesting. To me.
yeah. I sometimes hear in comments of like they consider themselves more European than anything. I mean I think it's like I think there's always been a rift I think within Latin America in football. Like I think yeah. So with that being said, I think I'd probably go. I think France is the better team. But I kind of do want Messi to win the World Cup. To be honest with you.
By the way,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
want
it'd be a
Messi
good
to win the World Cup. I want Lisandro Martinez to win the World Cup. My boy.
That's my guy, man.
Martinez?
That's my guy right there.
Yeah,
That's
he's
my
quality.
Guy. Yeah, Martinez. That's my guy.
He's
That's my
quality.
guy.
Oh, what a run! What a run! What a run! Why are you not passing it, you idiot? Oh, you're so late. Go! No! Oh! Whoa!
Oof! Wow! Off the line. We got Anthony Lafleur here saying the score line in this match does not tell the whole story. Morocco had their chances in the match and couldn't finish. Example right there. Penalty?
It wasn't their night.
Man, they had the chances and you see them break through the wing so many times, but like Ziyech, Boufal, whoever else in this side too, like it's that pass in the box that just doesn't get to the right player, and just it's little tap-ins. They got into the 18-yard. They got into that box so many times, but just couldn't find that right player to pass it to.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Oh.
Even
Yeah,
that.
Lisandro Martinez. The start he got for his Man United career, for everyone just doubting him as a centre back. And you and I spoke about this as well, Ariel, if you remember as well, back in September, I think. And I was like, no,
Right.
Ten Hag knows what he's doing with Lisandro Martinez. He'll get accustomed to it, and he has done. It's been one of our best players this season. But then,
He's
for him
awesome.
to then be not a crucial part of Argentina's defense because he's normally coming off from the bench in this Argentina side. God knows why it still starts off with Mendy, but
Who knows?
yeah, he's done really well this season, Lisandro Martinez. So shout out to him, man. I appreciate the guy. And then
They're
it
kind
will
of
be-
mad that Arsenal didn't.
Yeah,
They didn't just push harder. Like
Saliba
Arsenal
and
should've gotten-
Lisandro Martinez would have been an amazing partnership. That
come on, man. That would have been awesome.
would have been ridiculous.
Yeah. But Arsenal.
Do you think United will pick up any players from this World Cup in January?
If Man United need to buy one player from this World Cup,
Who is it?
they will look to probably buy a striker or a right back.
Right back?
Right back, why are you trying to handle the ball, man? Play on.
Honestly, I think Dalot's really grown as a player, and like he's improved quite a bit. And I think maybe a center back, because
Yeah.
Maguire is still not reliable, and that's it. And that's it.
Full time.
Full time. France to the World Cup finals.
France versus Argentina. Messi versus Mbappe. Sunday. This is going to be amazing. Sunday the 18th of December. Big shout out to Morocco. Amazing tournament all the way round. Giroud with his former teammate, now the manager of Morocco's national team. Unreal.
It's crazy.
The underdog story comes to an end. It's unreal. It's been fantastic watching this Morocco side play. I'm really happy because I got my prediction right. I predicted France would win 2-0. My prediction was that Mbappe would score first, but he didn't. He didn't score. But Morocco can't feel hard done by. They were just beaten by the better team.
They overachieved, man. They overachieved hard. No one saw them coming out of the group stage. Everyone saw Belgium, Croatia. But for them to come this far, it's honestly kudos. Like, they deserve it. They deserve more. They deserve it all. Like, good job.
It shows hard work, passion, determination actually still wins in football. It's not always going to be about technical ability. It's not always going to be about individual skill. You're looking at some of these players in these teams as well. Hakim Ziyech barely gets a game for Chelsea. Soufiane Boufal couldn't cut it in the Premier League as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at some of these players like Roman Saiz, obviously Wolverhampton Wanderers as well. Bono, Sevilla goalkeeper, they were without El Nasiri. There were a couple of suspensions, a couple of injuries as well. You can only tip your hat to Morocco. They did so well against this France side, especially better than Croatia did yesterday against Argentina, for goodness sake, as well. Argentina scored 3, Morocco conceded 2. Unreal in this game, but it's a very straightforward game for France, wasn't it, guys? Let's be real. They knew what.
They knew how to attack, but I just feel like
They managed the game. Sorry, I should have worded it better. They managed the game better.
They did. They did.
Once they got the first goal.
They were lucky they got that early goal, but honestly, Morocco didn't sit back. They weren't like, they kept pushing till the very end, even with the 2-0. Like, they kept pushing and they had their chances, but they just couldn't finish them. And that there just shows the difference between the two different nations, right? The players, the management. It's kind of like they both had their options, but one just finished them, the other didn't.
Absolutely, it was great. Absolutely great. And I'm not getting emotional, but I'm getting a bit taken aback by how well Morocco have done. And you're thinking about literally Morocco getting to a semi-final of a World Cup. No one besides Samuel Eto'o, who somehow predicted a France versus Morocco semi-final, would have predicted this.
I know.
Not even Morocco would have predicted this.
I know.
And it's unreal. It's really well done to them. And it's fantastic. And they're all going to be going home to Marrakesh, to Casablanca, to a hero's welcome. And fully deserved as well. That's what football
for
about.
Sure.
Look at the effort.
But yeah, like we got the new France song maybe being created right now. Version 2.0 of that.
Another one with Paul Pogba and Pembe in the background.
And Mendy
and N'Golo Kante.
And Benjamin Mendy.
Imagine trying to say all the names out loud as well. Kolo Muani, you got to go for Turan, you got to go for Camavinga, Chouameni as well.
Exactly.
Chouameni's crazy tournament. You guys mentioned about Giroud and Mbappe being good. Chouameni's been probably my favourite midfielder to watch this tournament as well.
Man, this whole squad had quality. Like Teo, the fullback, coming in after his brother's injury, like he's changed the team. He was able to provide a lot more going wide. Mbappe, Mbappe, Giroud too. Even though Benzema was kind of the first pick, he was still, I should have been the first pick to start. Like, I shouldn't have ever been like the second option, even if Benzema was here or not. He's shown what his quality is able, like what he's able to provide. Benzema, Griezmann too, like turning into a player who is creating and just it's crazy to see it coming from a player like played as a winger when he was playing in Sociedad. Then he moved to Barca, having his rough time at Barcelona. Now back at Atletico Madrid, having a good season, and yet still providing great chances in the French national team. So having one of the most chances created in the tournament and also becoming the top assister of the nation is like, kudos to him. Kudos to him. And again, like you said, Chouameni creating just great supporting just midfield play. And even that goal against England was like, wow.
Even I was taken aback by that as well. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Well done
And the center backs too. Even Upamecano, and as much as he was left out this game, like Konate came on and he looked great. Like he was stopping shots from the back too. Varane was doing his job, and Koundé too, playing that right back role. But hats off to France, hats off to Morocco. Like it was an exciting tournament for both of them, and it's the finals now. So.
Oh, they're going to be in such a... I love this little thing. They go through this little tunnel through the staff, which is funny to see. Really, really good. But they're definitely in for a test against this Argentina side as well.
I think they're both up for the test. As much as Argentina, yes, they beat Croatia, but they have to, like, if they beat France, and yes, 100% they deserved it, kind of thing, right? And that's what it comes down to, like the finals.
Literally just one game left in this World Cup, and this World Cup has gone on for a long period of time, but I've enjoyed every game from what I've watched. It's been incredible to really watch and appreciate, but it's going to be really sad to see it end, because it's been one of the better World Cups I've ever been able to watch.
100%.
5 or 6 World Cups now, and I can still remember loads of games from different eras, which is great. But yeah, this probably is the biggest final, probably since 2014, maybe Germany, Argentina, or Brazil versus Germany. Yeah, big games. France versus Italy was a big game, but it's the big game final again. No disrespect to Croatia and Morocco, but I think everyone slyly was kind of hoping for a Messi versus Mbappe, France versus Argentina final for the big game that we needed to see.
Oh, 100%. And again, I think it does come down to the bench, right? Like, the quality is there for the French squad, but can Argentina, go past that and just really, do something with the players they have? It's Messi time.
Definitely. It's definitely Messi time, or it's going to be Mbappe time as well, which will be great.
Yeah.
Which will be really, really good. But no, before I wrap up from my side, I just want to say to all of your listeners from the Footy Culture, thank you for watching us and for following us and for all the questions you've offered. It's been great to be part of this today. Really, really enjoyed it.
100%.
I'm going to get all emotional now and may have to start cooking some Moroccan food now. I'm not Moroccan at all.
Let it out, man. Let it out, man.
Mbappe and Hakimi swapping kits as well.
It's been a long day. It's been good. Are you guys going to do a stream for the final as well?
We're not too sure yet. We're going to see where we're at on Sunday morning, but we'll keep you guys posted. And everyone in the chat, again, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for chatting up. Thanks to everyone here. And thanks to my 2 beautiful guests.
No worries. It's been all good. If you are, let me know. I won't be joining, but I'll be watching, so I'll be giving you guys some questions as well. I'll be at my parents' house because little family tradition. We have to watch it together as a family. So.
No worries. Sounds great. That's beautiful.
I'll be messaging you. Is Mbappe still going to be the GOAT? What's going to happen? All of these random nonsense. It'll provide good topics as well, which will be good as well. But I'll leave you guys to it. Everyone, thank you very much for watching the Footy Culture stream. My name is Hamza. I'm from the Friday Night Counter Attack podcast. So if it's in the link below, click on the link below. If not, find us on social media.
Yes.
Especially on YouTube and Instagram as well.
We'll be all over the description, guys. We got Strictly Football and Friday Night Counter Attack here. Thanks everyone for joining us. We're out. Peace.
Thank you, man. Adios.
Take care.